to our 5-minute math series. All you need is 5 minutes to learn a new topic and feel like you finally get what's going on in your math class. Let's get started. Here we have x plus 6 equals 10.62. X is our variable and it is on the left side of the equation. So I am going to draw a line down the middle to separate my left and right and look for a plus or minus on the side with the variable on the left. I see a plus 6 and the opposite operation is a minus 6. I do the opposite so that plus 6 and minus 6 cancel out because 6 minus 6 is 0. I want to know what my x is. I want the x by itself. Now all I need to do is say 10 minus 6, 10.62 minus 6. Watch out and make sure the 10 and the 6 are lined up so that we can do our subtraction properly. 2 minus 0 is 2, 6 minus 0 is 6, and 0 minus 6 doesn't work, but I can borrow from the neighbor and say 10 minus 6 is 4. My answer is x equals 4.62. This time we have 10.62 again equals x minus 6 with my x on the right side of the equation. I am going to split up my left and my right side so that I can focus on the right and look for a plus or a minus. I see a minus 6. To cancel that out, the opposite operation is a plus 6. And I am careful to line up the 10 and the 6 so I can add properly. Now I am going to cancel out negative 6 plus 6, which is 0, or 6 minus 6 in other words, leaving my x by itself. If I add 10.62 plus 6, I am going to say 2 plus 0 is 2, 6 plus 0 is 6, 0 plus 6 is 6, and 1 plus nothing is 1. My final answer is 16.62 equals x, or you can switch it around to have the x at the beginning. You can always do that. Our third example says 3x equals 27, and I see the x on my left side of the equation. So when I split up my equation, I am going to focus on the left side. I do not see a plus or a minus, so I look for multiplication or division, and I put that point there to denote that there is no sign and therefore it is multiplication. The opposite is division. So I divide 3 on both sides, and 3 divided by 3 is 1. 1x is the same as saying x. Now 27 divided by 3 is a little bit more complicated, but I know my times table, so I can think of 9 times 3 equals 27. And if it works in one direction, it works in the other. I'm going to turn this around to say 27 divided by 3 equals 9. All multiplication tables work that way. If 9 times 3 is 27, then 27 divided by 3 is 9. X equals 9, and I am finished. Our final example is 10.5 equals x divided by 2. Now don't get nervous, I know there's a fraction, but all you have to do is look for the variable, it is on the right, and look for the opposite operation. Is there multiplication or division? Well, we have divided by 2, and the opposite is multiplying by 2, so it cancels out, no more fraction. Now we do have to think about 2 times 10.5. I am going to write down my multiplication algorithm, which is 10.5 times 2 on the bottom, and 2 times 5 is 10. I write the 0 down and I carry the 1. Now 2 times 0 is 0 plus 1 is 1, and 2 times 1 is 2. And I am going to bring down my decimal point. Remember, with multiplication you don't have to line up the decimals, but you do have to bring it down at the end. X is equal to 21.